Hello Scorpio, welcome back to my channel, The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I'm here with a new reading for you. The first one in 2024. Happy New Year if you were celebrating. So I've pre-shuffled your cards, Scorpio, and I feel like I should just dive into this. I feel like that. I have a sense of something old, potentially shadowy or secretive or something. But that could be like other energies that are mixing here. We have a full moon in Leo in a few days, and I had that a little bit also with the Libra reading. It's like, and we know about Leo, right? Leo is big and influential, right? So maybe it's simply, it has had a wish to come in, I feel like, to blend with the current energies where we also have Mercury retrograding. So I have a center card, and then I actually have like these two cards come from what I would call a feminine decks. The Divine Feminine deck here, and this one is the Priestess of Light. Whether this actually is feminine energy or that this is needing to be read as more neutral, gender neutral, I'll see about that. But I just found that it was interesting, like how these came up as like that this was the decks that I was somehow supposed to take. I feel there's a twist here, like feminine with a twist, kind of. We'll see about it. Mercury retrograding can bring up stuff or people or situation or circumstances from the past. It's like Mercury is reflecting on the past, right? It's the planet of communication and well, all kinds of, you could say, thought patterns that define you, identity and so on. Okay, let's have a look here. Ace of Gabriel. A gift of passion, opportunity and inspiration, the chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. This is great. A gift of passion, opportunity and inspiration, the chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. Aces are usually, you would say, something new. I feel it's these cards are all, like what they read here is always very positive, like and it could be. Why do I have the sense that there is some kind of shade here? Shade thing. Because this looks, you know, like a feisty, hot new relationship maybe, or that passion. You know, you're like rekindling some kind of passion. Rekindling. It could be igniting, but I get more like the chance to do something amazing. A sense of wonder. Opportunity. Fiery here. Ace of Gabriel. Fiery. Feisty. Fun perhaps. Well, I had this sense of like some kind of shady. Of course, it could be that this is you, Scorpio, right? And you are just right out of your gate here. You are going, right? You are on your path. You're going. You are just hot and feisty, and this is super fun or alluring or sexy or passionate. Great opportunity. It could though be that maybe there's Ace of Gabriel can be a bit of temper also, like like the greatness of the fire can sometimes be, well, maybe to others it can feel a bit overwhelming, like to get the passion out. Like this could be an overwhelming hot and if this is an offer from someone, right, around you, this could be like a very hot and feisty incoming proposal here. Very passionate, very and this is exactly what I feel it because I heard aggression also. There's a fine line between having an enormous sense of pursuing a passion and how it may feel for someone else, right? If someone comes in very hot and feisty here, this could almost feel obsessive to another person. Or again, I just mentioned the Leo, like the Leo full moon, right? That the fire here is it is great, right? Like what is said on the card here is great for the one who feels it, right? For the one who feels all of this. This is an absolutely great feeling. And I'm kind of wondering if this is you or it's someone else opposing something upon you, like they send something up towards you and your reaction to this you are a water sign, Scorpio, but you do have a lot of passion, right? Deeply seated, it's a part of your core. You can mobilize like that passion can be mobilized and be very expressive and very intense. It's like when I look at her here, right? It's like there's this in the background, this rather idyllic, like idyllic landscape. And then it's like someone comes in here and they just, it's almost like they steal the scenery. Like they become, I get the feeling of like if you sit in a restaurant, right? And you like the restaurant, you like the scenery, maybe the music in the background, a few paintings or something. And then comes in this belly dancer here with like a loud music, I don't know, Arabic or music. And they just start dancing, right? They start dancing and it's like you cannot not see her. Like the entire, you could say, scenery changes. You could have been there for a private dinner, with a loved one or someone you kind of just, you wanted to have a good time. You chose that restaurant. It was known for, I don't know, dishes or something. Or the view over the sea or over the landscape here, right? Maybe it was situated in a very specific area with the mountains and everything. So there was a great view, there was space and whatever. And then suddenly comes in this, like it's entertainment in the restaurant, right? But they come in and it comes in with such like a force, you could say. So I'm wondering if this is you or something or someone else. It has this element of stealing the picture, I feel like. And that's why it has this, I had this shade element, like this in itself, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, right, there's nothing wrong with this in itself. It is a performer or an inspirational reaction to something, becoming very feisty about something, passionate about something. That in itself, there's nothing wrong with that, right? That is fine. It's just what it does to the rest, or it has an effect on, and that can create this feeling of like the shade, that it was such a great evening. We went to this restaurant, we had this perfect date until this and this happened, until this fire came in, right? Until something was put on the table. This can also be, I'm just, speculating here, right? It's just, it has this element. You went to this perfect restaurant, this beautiful dinner. This was a date with maybe a new possible crush here, and you sit down. They are attractive. They are actually your type. You find them very alluring. They are, they steal the picture, of, you would say, what else is going on in your life. And there's not that, like, they could be extremely beautiful here, very attractive. And that is in itself not a problem, but if it's, like ruining your ability to see what else is in your life, Do you see how, like, if they take over your priorities, like, because they are such a catch, so now you are using all your time on this person, but you forget your friends. You neglect what else is in your life here somehow. Because the way they come in is so, like, it's so seductive or so alluring that what else is in the picture becomes secondary. It becomes something less in some way. So this is now, so you can see this can go either way. The fire, and I say these are always very positive. So I want to stay on the positive side. It can be because they are very sexy, very alluring, very seductive, very creative or sparkly in some way, right? That's why they kind of steal the picture. You're no longer interested in the mountains. You're no longer interested in the, I don't know, the little village or the river or something. She comes in here and is very, like, dominating in the way they, or attractive in some way, right? But you see this, it could be the other way around. Like, fire can be, the way they come in here can because they either they are creating an attraction for you, something you can't get your eyes off. You get lured into it. Or they create a threat. Therefore, you can also not ignore them. If they are somehow threatening you, you have to figure out how to get it off you, right? Like, do you see? It can be either way, like, or it could even be both. Like, they are very attractive, but when you are lured into this, and you may become like, there is a shade to the attraction. There's a shade to the attraction. This can be anything. It doesn't have to be a person. This could be you go on you go to a weekend off here, like in beautiful scenery, and you just want peace and calm. And this represents, like, let's say there's a fire in one of your next door cabins, right? That kind of that becomes now the talk of the town. This becomes what everybody is occupied with. Does it something like that? Like, it was supposed to be the picture in the background, but now something comes in here and kind of just steals the picture, and it could be like a rekindling flame, someone from your past, potentially there could be something Leo-ish here, because that's how it comes in. Like, it has this, as I said, Leo is big and expressive. That could also, like, big and expressive. That's what I want. Big and expressive in its, that's how it comes across here. Ace can talk about a new one event, one experience, one event, a new event, a new thing that, like, this can be also like a rekindling of an old hobby of yours. Something that you may not have done it in a long time, but rekindling it and doing it again. Now that becomes your entire focus because it's absolutely fun here. Or Like it's just amazing, right? It sparks something. It lights up your life. It creates a fire, a flame, a passion, maybe you something you want to go and get, like like a passion for a job, and now that becomes everything you think about. Like it takes over in you, like it's like woo, like that in your face. It just stands there and keeps calling you, right, to come or to join or to be part of. And it's like you could push aside everything else, to be part of it, to join it. So there is a shade to the fun, or there is this could be an addiction. Like I really don't think, like, the energy here wants to be positive and fun and good, and I want to keep myself there, right? That's but like because it is fun sometimes. If let's say you like gambling and the big profit here, like the possible profit, the money you could earn, the fun of it, the poker game, the excitement, the tension. You sit at the table, the bets that come, the opportunities that are there. But there is a side shade, like if I get really hooked on this, I could actually have a difficult time getting myself out again. Do you see my point? Like I could burn myself. This is extremely fun and it's in my awareness. I look at it. That could also be what this is, that you're looking at an old addiction or an old flame of yours, an ex-partner. You look at a picture of them, right? And if you look at them, it's like you may even feel it still. Like you may even feel that, wow, yeah, at that time when I was with this person, like that was maybe the most dramatic, fun, crazy time of my life. But there was a shade to it. There's something about this that is something you didn't know, or something you didn't see, something you are not seeing at the moment. I have a sense of shade here. Why do I have that? So I have get Empress here. You see, that's what I feel like. The Empress is, well, like she is very, I want to say almost irresistible here. Like she is one of the reasons for, like, about the Empress is that she is like she is her own. I want to say that's possibly maybe one of the main reasons or things about her is that she really knows herself. Like she is, you don't get to become the Empress just like that. The Empress is usually very beautiful, very self-assured, very confident. Like there is dignity and worthiness. She knows her worth. She has dignity. She treats herself right. She has boundaries. Like she is an autonomous person. She knows who she is. She's very aware also what she brings here, the corn, what she brings to the table. We say that the Empress is a if we talk about the queens in tarot, the Queen of Cups would be a minor empress. But to become the empress, you need to embrace the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Water, and the Queen of Earth. So you have all 4 elements embedded in you. You have looked at it, you have figured this out. She can sometimes be like a self-employed woman here. She's quite capable of taking care of herself. And it means that she's not needy or clingy. Like she, as I said, she's autonomous. She has herself together in that way. It's difficult to win her over unless you have something similar to offer, like the Emperor. Right? That is what she is. She's and maybe that's who she is, right? That she has this. I would say this would make sense, like meeting an empress. If you are a Scorpio male, like she could be very, very, very exciting, I think. She could be something to obsess about, almost, I feel like. Because there is something about maybe that's why I have this shade here. Like she could bring out a shade in you. Because she doesn't need you, right? Like she's, as I said, autonomous. She doesn't need you in her life. And that could be a bit of, maybe that's provocative. I don't know. You know, like that could, then this can become like a power thing, right? That if someone stands in front of you like that, as I said, it's like they steal the image. Maybe you have to figure out why they steal the image here. For you, right? That if someone like this stands in front of you, and you could get all worked up about it, Ace here, like it could create a new feeling in you. A feeling of passion, a feeling of inspiration, or but also I feel like with a sense of shade. Like there is a, you know, like a crazy attraction, maybe. But at the same time, like you can't own this one. Like, you know, it's that is not at all what she exudes. And that can be, you know, like it can be attractive and at the same time like really problematic, perhaps, depending on what kind of relationship you're looking for. You know, so there's a blend. I feel like there's definitely attraction and definitely stealing the picture here. It's like from whatever you usually do in your life, it's like now it's almost like they occupied all space here. They are constantly on your mind, right? They can be very beautiful. Maybe they are quite creative. They could be, you know, a singer, a writer. They could be an artist. They could be a dancer. or performer, but they are well put together here, and they are, as I said, I get like autonomous, like I get they are whole, like they are together. They are well put together. They are a whole person, a whole human being. I don't know what else to say about it. And that could be a great attraction here. But like an empress, as I said, like for her to be inspired to even feel the need to have you around, or to be with you, or being like interacting with you, or like she's because she has her shit together, this one, right? And she knows herself. She knows what she needs and what she doesn't need, and what she will accept in her life and what she doesn't want to accept. And I said it's like there is feminine energy here, and she's definitely a feminine energy. Maybe that's why I get this card again, like yeah, I get almost like there is a feminine in your brain, on your mind, like they fill up all your space somehow. Or almost, again, she almost exudes, like take all the space here of the picture, right? She is big here. And this one, the same thing. It takes up a lot of space. There's almost just a little bit in the background here. There could be some, like a beauty. Again, this autonomous feeling that you can't just get her, like you can't just take her or get her. Like the way she stands, right? She just feels very solid somehow. She feels solid to me somehow. Or maybe, like someone who has taken a stance, and therefore she stands solid in her stance, in her message, or something like that. And that is both attractive, very attractive, and at the same time it's maybe a problem, like it's a, I get this feeling of like a bit of a shade, like that could be what you feel. Like it's almost maybe as like right? Like pursuing something like this is, I don't know where it will take me. Like I may not know if I will like this, if I will like it. Because someone like this, as I said, she doesn't need, and like she has her things together, her life together. She doesn't need someone to cling to them, or so she's asking for an emperor here. An emperor is just as her autonomous, like they have their own thing together. They are their own person, right? And for some reason, I get this, like, I don't get that here exactly. I get that something is coming in and challenging something here. You know, like a wake-up call, or like a maybe an invitation. You know, like meeting someone like this could be an invitation, because it's asking something of you as a masculine, right? It's asking something of you to step up your game in some way, to become someone she can actually relate to. Someone she can relate to. And someone who sees her worth, like she's not a prize, this one. She's not a prize. She's not a like something to conquer, or that's and you know, so but you see your passion, this fire of passion. So what is it exactly that you are standing in front of here, and what are her values here? Like, if you ignore her values, she will never let you close to her, right? So I get this feeling that it's extremely alluring and very attractive, but at the same time it's a pain in the Does that make sense? Something like that. And it could be, you know, like, again, I said this about feminine. It could be, you know, like a sister, a mother, an aunt, someone that you... Empress is usually a mother. Like, she's usually depicted as a pregnant woman, exuding, you know, like motherly energy. She has to, in that state, she is in a very creative process. She is needing, you know, like, she needs the surrounding to be, like, the things around her needs to fit her and her situation. She can have turmoil, not when she is creating this baby here. You know, she is expecting, you could say, that could also be what she is saying here, or what she exudes. I expect peace here. I expect something to be, you know, like to create, like the fence, you know, like if someone is around me here, they have to understand that this is what I need. So if you are not on board with that, then you're not like my person, you're not for me, right? Maybe that is extremely alluring here, like they are asking for something particular, and they stand, like, I feel like, again, they stand their ground on that, right? And maybe this is very alluring to a masculine, because the masculine usually wants to take care. It wants to be the strong, you know, fence or protector, perhaps, right? So that can be very attractive, but at the same time, it could, you know, it would ask for commitment. It would ask you to stay. It would ask you to be that one. And maybe it's, you know, like, there's a sense of shade here, like or you are debating with yourself whether this is what you want or not. Does that make sense? Like something like that. So let's have a look at this one. Power over difficulty, reclaiming your power here. Yeah, I get a feeling of reclaiming your power. Again, I get this feeling that someone may have come in and kind of swept you off your feet, you know, or you were the one who did that to someone else. Like the reclaiming of power here, or the, like, power over difficulty suggests, well, a sense of power struggle, first of all, or a sense of losing power, like losing maybe autonomy, losing a sense of like standing your ground, or losing or being challenged on it, right? Being challenged on what is yours and what is mine, and that if someone comes in here hot and feisty, they could kind of just sweep everything away, like everything that you know, if this is the left card, this sometimes talks about the past. So maybe you have been working your way through a situation here where you may have felt that you did lose power, or you were the reason someone else did, right? As I said, this idea that something comes into our life and it kind of just, it becomes everything we think about. Like we can become obsessive about this thing or this person or this relationship or this achievement. And we are willing to focus entirely on that. And we kind of shove everything, like, as I said, suddenly we neglect children, or we neglect family, or we neglect we neglect the best friends. We neglect something that may actually be good for us, or healthy, or so this Ace of Fire, like it can be very attractive here, but it comes with a shade. It comes with a it's like drinking. Drinking this elixir is making me feel great for a time, but eventually the hangovers come, right? And that could be what this is, right? Maybe it has taken you a long time to somehow get out of, maybe a difficult relationship here. It could be with, as I said, a feminine, a mother, a sister, an aunt, or simply a boyfriend, or sorry, a girl. It could be a boyfriend also, but a girlfriend. It's like the magnitude of them left the magnitude of them left a very a problem, right? It left a power problem, or I feel like autonomy. It's like their autonomy is almost a threat to yours. Does that make sense? Like maybe you have been like really trying to figure out how to get your power back here, so that you can stand on your own 2 feet if you should ever come across them again, perhaps, right? Would you fall back into the same feelings? Would you fawn? Would you become addicted to them, maybe? Would you, or become addicted to it? Would you fall again? I get a feeling, yeah, fall. Would you fall again? Would you fall again? I get almost like a feeling of memory lane, like walking down memory lane, looking at photos, right? And you come across this one and it's like, oh yeah, that was like, this was probably the most seductive thing or person ever. Like the greatest sex, everything about the most gorgeous body, everything was just so seductive, right? Is still perhaps so seductive. And just knowing that the way they show up is very, you know that if I'm dealing with this again, it's like there is a story here or a history. And the history didn't end well for you. Or the one you're dealing with. It didn't end well for you. Well, maybe for you, but for them it didn't. Like, again, you can reverse the characters in my readings, right? So again, is this you or is it someone else? This could also suggest that, like maybe you had an experience in the past where you were the one who came out as let's say, a winner. Like you were the one who got most out of it. Maybe you were the empress in that state, right? But now you may face the opposite. Like maybe you are standing in front of someone like that now, and you just see yourself crumble, right? You see how you can't keep your footing down, or you get ungrounded. Like you get seduced with this, and you can't seem to just stand your ground. And I get almost a feeling of I'm reading for a cross-watcher, because Scorpios, like, you are powerhouses, right? That like, if about energy, that is your energy. Intense energy is like, that's your back pocket, right? It's a walk in the park, where for someone else it probably isn't. The intensity of scorpionic energy, when it really like grabs you, that's why I talked about the belly dancer, right? The way they move and the eye contact can be very intense and very almost intimate. Even if you sit in a restaurant with a lot of other guests, it becomes very direct and very intimate, and almost like it crosses people's boundaries. And it invites, right? It keeps inviting to join and participate, right? So, am I reading for, like, is this you or is it someone else, or is it just reversed this time? You see, like, is it reversed this time? So this could be everything. It could be the lure, the invitation. You can feel the invitation, but can you stand your ground here? Do you feel that you can control your fire? Do you feel that that you are a match to this? Like, can you stand your ground, your stance? Can you match? Or is this a power, is it a power struggle, or are you a match? Right? Do they make you feel like you crumble? Or do you make them feel like they crumble? Or that they somehow fawn. I can't really, it almost feels like it has been something once, and then you get the opposite experience now, or something. Does that make sense? So I get over here, this is a Divine Feminine card. It says, Yeshe Sogyal, Lady of the Lotus Born, embodiment of the deepest bliss, My body was made for enlightenment. Lady of the Lotus Born. So the Lotus Born, this feels a little bit to me like a rebirth or a new version or a new kind, a new. But then when I look at these two, I feel like there's a similarity. She's like waving something over her head here. This one is also doing the same. Like there's maybe a sense of aura or something. She has this, in this deck, most of them have this kind of halo around them, but actually she does as well here. It's like there is an energy that is embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. And a reclaiming of power here. So like a embodiment would mean that you kind of own it, right? It everything in you exudes this energy. This is inside. It is like, it's stored. It's on in its right storage. It's stored in your cells. You're embodying it. So it means that you walk and talk it. And the walking and talking here and the embodiment is actually a bliss. That you now walk with. I get a sense of autonomy, like where something may have been challenged once. Again, this difficulty about power, right? Power over difficulty and reclaiming your power. Like that once maybe power was a problem. Like there could have been like power struggles or power dynamics here that could have wounded you in some way or left you feeling less than or powerless. But there is a new feistiness or a new embodying it, like in you it feels like a bliss. Finally it's like, I'm back, I got this, I now stand on my own 2 feet, this feels great, right? That is this is like listen, it's a confirmation, right? This is like a confirmation that I'm on the right track. I'm Lotus Born, I'm the new one, right? I'm a new version or I'm a different version. Everything in me was made for some kind of change or enlightenment. But then I get this feeling of like a twist, because sometimes when people change in our life or we change in our life, there can be a twist to it. That, well, maybe we feel great, or they, if you're dealing with an empress here, and this is not you, right? Because all of this could be you. Like you just feel top dollar, I'm ready to go. and like a feeling that I have reclaimed a more autonomous, more whole version of myself. This could all be you, you know. But I got this feeling of like a, you know, like if you, like reclaiming power here, and now you have it, and it means that when you go somewhere, you can now become the talk of the town, right? You can become even a celebrity maybe, I don't know, but you could become, you know, like even in your family, and not necessarily with the best wishes, you know. People usually want us to stay the way we were. So I get this feeling that there is a shade, maybe a minor one, right? But something you just have to deal with, because what you are becoming or being, or what you are standing in front of here, has changed. It has changed its ways. It has done differently. It's now showing up in a new way. So you can either try to fight it, you can run from it, you can walk away from it, or you can join, right? Or like, you know, copy or try to merge with this energy. You can work with it, or you could work against it, right? I just feel like to her here, it's like she is waving her magic wand here, like this one. She's waving her instruments here, dancing, or as I said, like a belly dancer here, waving her magic wand. And that, like for the person who does this, it feels so great. Like it feels like you are home, right? That every cell of your body is feeling great and satisfied, right? You're just being you, right? And because of that, they feel great. But then again, I have this feeling you could be the one who's watching someone change, right? You could be the one that is watching a change in someone. And maybe you don't like it, right? Maybe you feel the shade of this, like the jealousy or the bitterness, or but you're not supposed to like take up so much space, right? You're not supposed to be the talk of the town or the talk of the family. You're supposed to be like over there. I should maybe be the talk of the town, right? I should be the one who is standing here, not her, right? Why is she suddenly on my mind here so much? Why does it seem like everybody is talking about her, or even I find them like inspirational. I find them attractive. I find them unique here, perhaps. It's because like something has changed here, right? It could be someone, as I said, it's like there's feminine energy around you that may have gone through a change here. Like they may have, like from being more powerless, they have now reclaimed a certain amount of power here, and they come across to you as an empress here. Let's just get the book for this one. So who she is here. Yese Sogyal represents a deep wisdom that has been much misunderstood. She is the ultimate spiritual wisdom that the human body is all that is needed for enlightenment. Yeshe was born a princess in Tibet in 777 CE. According to legend, she was born in the same way as the Buddha. A mantra resounded, and her mother gave birth to Yeshe painlessly. Her name means Wisdom Lake Queen, because at the moment of her birth, a nearby lake doubled in size, symbolized her tremendous wisdom, her waters of enlightenment. From a young age, Yeshe only wanted to practice the Dharma instead of getting married. But the emperor of Tibet gave her to Padmasambhava. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. He was traveled. He had traveled to Tibet from India to spread the Buddha's teachings. He became her main consort and husband, and together they each founded their own lineages of Buddhist teachings. She spent many years isolated in meditation and accomplished several cycles of tantric spiritual practices. She received esoteric initiations and became known as a fully enlightened Buddha in the form of an ordinary woman. In the form of an ordinary woman. She is also considered to be an incarnation of Vairayogini, which I don't know what is, but I guess it's good. And her husband predicted that she would reincarnate as the legendary Tibetan Buddhist tantric teacher and yogini Mashik Labdrön. Okay, so it feels like whatever is happening here is that there is and now we get, like, the Empress makes sense now, right? As I said, a very autonomic whole sense of person who knows what she wants and who knows who she is and what she is choosing for herself in this life, right? If we talk about someone like this, they are occupied with, all they think about is their enlightenment. That's the only thing why they are here. Spending many years isolated in meditation and accomplishing several cycles of tantric spiritual practices. She became known as a fully enlightened fully enlightened Buddha in the form of an ordinary woman. So this is a special life choice, right? This is a life choice, and that's probably why I have the Empress here. And probably, like someone, it could have, maybe you may have struggled here about figuring out who you are or what you want, or there could have been power struggles of what you could become or what maybe you had limitations in your life to choose freely. And you see, this can be someone you are very attracted to. They could be an inspiration for the life you want to live, Maybe you have an Ace of Fire can be, this is like an epiphany about what I want to use my go-getter energy for, right? My fire, I want to use it on something specific. I want to become this one or be this one, or that is what my life is about. That's what I choose. That is the person I am, right? So when your soul selects her card here, It can be so easy to forget that everything we touch, everything we say, and everything we do is not separate from the divine. Yeshe embodied one of the most potent spiritual truths. The female body is an asset to enlightenment, not a hindrance. The body is a vehicle to free us from the idea that there are any limitations to reality. Tantra, which weaves together the sacred and the mundane to reveal the spiritual nature of all things, allowed Yeshe to realize that she was both an ordinary woman and an incarnation of the Buddha. We are both human and divine. We are both a mortal body and an eternal essence that continues on. The body too often can be the scapegoat for so much hate, distrust, and violence. The body holds infinite wisdom, pleasure, and possibilities. This is the moment to see your gorgeous body as the tremendous gift it is. It is the moment to realize that there is no greater intoxication than just being fully in your body from head to soul. So maybe that is like something you have realized, like that has become now a specific purpose for you, or you are witnessing someone else being more this, like they are standing in front of you and you can just see that there's something special about them. And the Empress is, as I said, she can be a pregnant woman, meaning that she's birthing, like she's birthing herself perhaps, like she's birthing, having a very special process about herself that is, enfolding more and more around her. Like she's becoming more and more of this. The lotus born, the newborn, or the phoenix, or the from maybe, a state of control or dominance to now choosing, I don't know, maybe not to get married, to choose a very specific spiritual path. I'm not saying that you have to do any kind of tantra or something, or that you have to become or believe in the Buddha or the Tao or something. Whatever path you choose, it could be any kind of spiritual teaching or understanding or something. It's just that there is from a place of not knowing perhaps to a determination to get to know something like that. And it means that if you are this, like if this is you here, well, you could say the shade of this could be that you can't live what people call a normal life. Like you probably won't get married. Maybe you do, but it definitely has to be someone who is a match to her then, right? Who understands her path and her devotion to this enlightenment, that this is more, this is like her duties to her enlightenment path is the most sacred and most important. Everything else comes after that. Like there is a primary, you could say, mission or goal, and then there's everything else. And that's why I feel like she's quite like in a stance here about her. This is what she's doing. Like this is who she is and what she's doing, and nothing is supposed to change that. Nothing. And I think that there can be something about that is quite alluring, right? Something that is, it can be your passion here, of course. But if you are watching someone, if you are the one watching someone here, it's like they become so different, perhaps. And it can all be you. You can be the one who chooses a different life, committed to something, whatever it is, committed to some kind of spiritual enlightening, wanting to know your soul, wanting to know the divine part of you. And I don't know how you get there, how you get to that, or how they are getting to that goal or getting to that, but it definitely takes meditation and probably also a sense of isolation or withdrawal from, specific, what we call normal life, like engaging with certain friends, going out on the weekends, partying, relationships. That could be a major change in some of this. If you're dealing with someone here like that, or this is you, that you're on this path, I want to say it requires something. It requires a commitment to that. Not deviating, and that could be what this is. It's like this becomes a main priority, and you're kind of shoving everything, as I said, shoving everything else aside, and everything else that you shove aside, that could be the shade, right? This is the things that people expect from you. This is the things that a husband or children or other family members may expect, or a boss or something. And you just slowly have to, get rid of this. Otherwise you can't pursue this. So this is a life choice. It becomes a ideology maybe, or a religion, or definitely a lifelong commitment. But the point is that there is something gained here. It says here that embodiment is the deepest bliss. This is what you gain. You gain this, and then there is this shade thing that probably is like the counterpart, right? That to get this bliss, there's something that you are probably maybe sacrificing or needing to overcome, maybe, like the bliss state is so wonderful and beautiful, and of course that's why you go there, that's why you seek it, but there's a price, you could say, to it. That's the shade, I feel like, and maybe that's why this is here, because I feel like it's a sacred feminine with a twist. So the twist is what? King of Pentacles. This guy has been coming up for a while. Some of the readings. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. This can be a father, a brother, an uncle, a grandfather. King of Pentacles usually has to do with, money. And that could be the problem, right? That could be a sacrifice of a connection to someone here. Like to go here, maybe you need to sacrifice a King of Pentacles can be a provider, right? A provider of some kind. A gatekeeper, as I said, like a protector or gatekeeper. Maybe you have to sacrifice that, or maybe this means that you do need a protector, a benefactor or a protector. Does that make sense? Because we all have to live somehow. We all need to pay bills and have, buy food and have shelter in some way. So going here is not just, it's not just a journey of, oh, I want a spiritual enlightenment. Yeah, but you're still in a body, right? You still need food, as I said, shelter. You still need warmth or a fireplace. You still need food on the table somehow, right? The ability to pay a minimum, even though you become a minimalist maybe, or you live really humbly, right? That you have very humble accommodations in some way. Even though you still have to have a certain amount of money, have a certain amount of shelter, have a certain amount of a saving or very, very cheap accommodation. King of Pentacles can also talk about becoming very successful. As I said, the Empress can be, sometimes she has her own business. And she would be looking like someone in her life would need to become, I would say, an emperor, right? This is a King of Pentacles, so this is like a minor emperor, right? As I said, the Queen of Cups is like a minor empress. This would be a minor emperor kind of energy. But it's still not there yet, right? It's still not... Because she was living quite isolated, so in order for her to have like the minimum accommodation, the minimum like requirements met, her like general housing, you would say something needs to show up here, right? Something needs to be available to that. Or someone at least must see the value of what she's doing here. Like an empress here. Someone has to be like see the value that in what it is that she's doing. She can become a great advisor. Like the Buddha, right? The Buddha is providing information and wisdom. And she can become that. And that could be how she earns her money here, right? But it may not be, established, or that the sitting in meditation for hours, for days, doesn't provide food on the table necessarily. Or there is an attachment here. Like maybe this one has a brother or a father or something that she has some kind of commitment to. He has shown up, this guy, a couple of times here. And for some reason, I feel like I'm drawn to his ruling staff here, as I was also very much seeing hers here. So there's something about the ruling staff of someone here. Maybe it has to do with this, like that someone here has a ruling staff that has been executed once. And it did something to the power here. That they could represent a power struggle, this one. As I said, there's a twist here, because it could be that that this is a memory, right? A memory of something where things were maybe not that I actually see him like when you look at this, right? I see him, like tapping it. I see him tapping it, like this, where he just sits like that, and it kind of just, like a sense of impatience, like I've got the stick here, right? I've got the ruling stick, and I'm just kind of impatiently tapping it, like that's how I see him here, someone being impatient, someone expecting something. And they sit on this throne here like a king. And again, they may have something to do with this here. Like maybe they were, like this could be a father or a brother or something here. And they were at some point maybe challenging, the stance here, the ability to stand your ground, or autonomy or something here. Can I have one more card on this King of Pentacles here? Like the King of Pentacles can be the one who pays for the house. So if you are a very young Scorpio here and you still live at home, this could be your father, right? Who pays for the house. So you can do your thing, but they are here, right? They kind of make the rules. I get almost like an impatient tapping here. Like, I'm in charge, right? I'm in charge. So the Ace of Gabriel here, like a gift or opportunity, or here could be like that I have my own here. I have my own, I don't know if you can see it, but she's holding on to like her own wand here, like her own wand over her head. The same here, as I said, it's like they have a sense of, I get autonomy, like a, but I don't, it doesn't feel like you are, like fighting with your blades, or that you are in some kind of fight, like a confrontation. It doesn't feel like that. It's just almost an energetic thing. That you stand in front of each other, and one who may have, been the one in charge here is maybe and have been ruling over you. Like they have been in charge over you. It could be a Taurus, that's your opposite, right? I just feel like they are no longer. Like they are still there, I still have this tapping thing that, like they're still there. Or on your mind, or in the, like a voice in the back of your head or something. Well, it could be someone you had a crush on, right? Because this is a more, it is a choice. But you see, you also may give up someone here. Like you could give up, that could be the twist here, right? that, or the shade, that there's a, who is this, please? Can I have a card on this King of Pentacles here? Could be Taurus energy. Taurus can be quite stubborn. You can be stubborn, right? I get this tapping, you know, like they're tapping this in his hand. You see, like the way he holds it here, right? And then he's just kind of tapping, like tapping this, like a, right? And the King of Pentacles would be like, this can be a system. This can be an institution. This can be, you know, the tapping can indicate, you know, someone who would suggest that you should go working. It could be like a system. Because as I said, to become this one, you isolate, or you live alone. But there are still bills to be paid. So how do you do that, right? How do you have a benefactor here? Do you have someone who is helping you, or is this could be you know, someone you share a flat with, and they are now maybe becoming more apparent that they want money, you know, that you should contribute to some kind of, and that is a challenge or a shade that you have to figure out how to how do I both do this and then at the same time like be like having my things together. How do I secure myself? How do I secure myself if I'm choosing a life like that? How do I, that could be what this is. How do I secure myself if this is my life? If I want to be the Empress here and I want to do this, how do I secure myself in that process? And if I want to secure myself, what can be there? Like if I am only working very little and only earning very little money, I can't pay much. So again, can I live with others? Can I have my family around? Can I have kids? Can I what am I able to pay for? So this can be a landlord, you know, like a landlord, you know, this, it's time to pay your rent, you know, or this can be tax system that is, oh, you owe taxes, right? Or you owe something, like, yeah, a feeling of owing something to an institution perhaps, or a system, maybe a person, you know, it can be a father, maybe a brother, like the feeling of like a collector, like they are collecting something owed. A debt, maybe this represents debt, and the time is up for paying this debt somehow. So even if there's bliss here to be found, there is also something else, like a shade kind of, or again, this could be someone you love dearly, but you know, they are not in your life, and because you've chosen this path, they are now, you know, you have to, like, they are a memory, you know, maybe a good memory, maybe you know, someone who has expectations of you. This could be a husband, right? They have certain expectations that you contribute, that you are his queen here, that you live the same lifestyle. Like this could be someone who is into luxury and, you know, like fancy travel and designer clothes and like status or fame or something here. They can be quite a catch, But I have this feeling of like, are you coming back or what? Like, I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting, maybe a bit impatient. I'm waiting. Are you coming back or what? What are you doing, right? But this one would probably choose their own enlightenment. She had a husband, but it has to be a special one because, well, like they have to totally and utterly accept this path of hers. They have to see it. They have to witness what's going on. They have to see that this is like the ultimate journey for her, right? Like becoming this empress is like the ultimate life lesson journey for this individual. And the one around, like the one, the benefactor, the keeper, they have to see it as valuable. They may even put aside their own needs to secure and promote something else. That's what I felt in the beginning. It's like if someone stands like this, you could be very attracted to it, but it will maybe, because they are standing their ground here, they will not necessarily give up their path. So maybe you must, or you are challenged with this perhaps, to understand that if I want to be with this person, there is no like I can't challenge this like this. I can't challenge it. I can only support it if I want to be there, right? But I think that like someone choosing this, someone choosing to maybe become the benefactor here, is it's not even like I don't feel like it's a big choice, actually. I feel it's a natural thing when you come across this one. Because they have Buddha. It's like like a Buddha who is reclaiming their power here. Like they are a Buddha in transit or in transformation. And the further they get, it's like the more you see it, the more glow they have, the more wisdom, the more. So it's like witnessing someone becoming the Buddha. How can you stand in the way of that? Like that is. So there is something about, like putting egos aside and seeing a bigger picture of something, allowing someone to go another path that is not normal for a wife maybe, right? But allowing them to do so and seeing every day how something changes and how much beauty and life they bring, how much wisdom, how much help or healing. Like they can become a great healer here, right? And being the one that may, be standing on the sideline, being second. Someone who would be second, maybe. Be the benefactor, the protector, benefactor, and supporter. But are you willing to do that, Scorpio, if that is you? Maybe you, Scorpio, are the one who is going through a transformation like this, choosing this, and you're looking for a partner who would not be impatient, who would be the benefactor. Again, he is a king here. She is an empress. It means, in a stance of personal development, she is, you could say, higher up. She's more evolved on a personal, spiritual level, mental level, where the king, I know it looks like a hierarchy. I don't think it's supposed to be felt or heard like that, but you get my point that she's an empress, he's a king, right? That there is something about because if she cannot be seen as an empress, if she's challenged on her empressness, she can be told to be a queen here, or even a page, right? Like, and she can never evolve here to this if she's not given the opportunity to. So someone has to be second, or someone who, it's like, Jesus was Jesus, and then the disciples who chose to follow him, they were, can we call them second, right? They decided to follow. So this is about becoming a follower of someone else who then takes the light. Like, they stand in the light. They are in, you put them there, they are there. They themselves choose to be there, you put them there. And serving or being of assistance to. Like the disciples were Jesus, right? It's a given, because Jesus stays in his autonomy. Whether the disciples were following him or not, he would pursue his mission anyway. He didn't force them to, he didn't, it wasn't like that. He just had a mission. Like, he had a choice, he had a calling. And those who wanted to follow, well, great. But that's what it is. And it cannot be challenged. That's what I feel like here. Like, if you choose to challenge, you cannot become the impatient, grumpy husband. Like, you really have to become aware of that, right? It's especially if they have already experienced that. Like, if this one has already experienced something like that, they will not allow it again. So this is that's what I get here. Like, this is what I feel like is on the table. Like, there is this catch of devotion, right? A devotion that may take you through your shadow, because your shadow may not want to be second, right? Your shadow, or you don't want to be the one who is you don't want to be the follower, perhaps, or maybe you want to shine, right? Maybe you want to be the one who stands here, right? Maybe you would like that. But the potential is with your spouse. The potential is with your partner. So, can you accept to be second? Can you accept to be the helper, the benefactor, the protector of something amazing evolving here? Can you find your own worth in that? Your own dignity in that? Or do you expect them to pay up the debt at some point? That now I have been helping you to now stand in your light here, so now you have to pay, right? Now it's time for you to pay. You have to pay me back. Maybe if I don't know, if someone is standing here and really on this path of wanting to choose to become very committed to some kind of enlightenment here, maybe that's some of the thoughts they have. that I'm not sure I can have someone around me like that. You know, like I don't want to end up needing to pay something here, you know, like I have a debt or something. And maybe they have tried that before, like maybe they have been in like a situation where it was like that. It was something about the power. It was something about paying back, or I don't want anyone to have power over me like that. So, you know, this is something that is a problematic or a dilemma here, right? That you need, that they or you need to face here. So for the King of Pentacles, I get the Serpent here. And the Serpent has, like, it's a snake that has two heads here. And they are kind of coiled at the end here together. So it feels a little bit like a tie. The Serpent suggests that that this is someone who is a responsibility, perhaps. Someone who is, yeah, like you have a responsibility with this one. Like you could be opposites, right? As like the mirror effect of the Serpent here. You could be opposites. See how how opposite this is, right? The Serpent here has a white, first a white orb and then a black, and up here we have a black one and then a white one. It's like they are opposite, that this is an oppositional energy. Maybe there is someone here who has oppositional energy. As I said, maybe they want to sit on the throne. It could be someone you're dealing with. Again, a power struggle. You want to pursue maybe your own healing here, your own enlightenment. You want to do that, but then you have maybe a responsibility here. You know, a responsibility to a benefactor, or maybe, as I said, a system. You know, like maybe you, I don't know if you have if you receive some kind of benefits or something, that you have a responsibility or a connection with something, but it's quite opposite than you. And it's asking something of you, I feel like. It asks you to engage or commit or be part of. Enlightenment is a very spiritual thing, right? It's the, you would say, the yin realm of the yin and yang, where the yang realm would maybe be this. This talks about work, right? Or earning money and it's about confidence. It's about worthiness. And there could be someone who has oppositional, you know, like values here. Someone who has oppositional values. Like they don't want you necessarily to do this. They don't want, like the Empress idea is not something they like, perhaps. It's like it feels a little bit like the greater whole of something should encompass, in their eyes, right? In their eyes here, In their eyes, you are together or you are an item. In their eyes, you are linked. This can be an X, right? In your eye, in their eyes, they expect something from you. Like the whole here means that both of you are joined. Like you are joined, even if you are opposites, you are joined. You can never do without, you can never, like they will somehow always be there. Again, it can be a child, it can be a, like an ex, or that you will somehow always owe something to someone here. Like you're joined at the hip. So this can be family, right? There's a family tie or something here. And it's so interesting that he's masculine, and I said that all these cards here are quite feminine in nature, so it feels like an opposite. So almost like a scorpionic female and maybe a Taurus masculine here, which is oppositional even like that, a masculine Taurus ruled by Venus, right? And a masculine feminine, a masculine female, like that, it's oppositional, like the gender thing gets it even more complex, right? And again, also because the determination of a Scorpio here to follow this passion of yours, using your masculinity to do that, would make you a very, like I want to say, very strong-headed feminine here, right? And you like it won't be like an easy botching here. It's not botching, right? No matter how much they like sit here and and to maybe like become an energetic adversary, or to be able to move away from some kind of power struggle here. She needs to become an empress. That's how she can look at this energy and kind of just say, well, you want me to pay up here, and you are saying that I owe something, but actually I don't feel like I owe anything, right? I pursue this anyway, but again, there's this, well, I guess that normal life would suggest that men and women that are married, perhaps, that they are somehow working together, right? They're working together, and I don't know if there is a, like that the man is the leader or something. But here it feels more like if you are a female here, it feels like you're the leader. Like you have a goal here. Someone has a goal here. And the one who stands beside it is the one who is asked to follow, right? They are asked to follow somehow. And maybe you are the one asking someone else to follow you. That could be the energy that you exude, right? And it kind of takes up the room. And this other one would maybe say, but I'm not sure I want to do that, right? You owe me then. You will owe me for all the things I've given you, for all the things because I thought we should have a different commitment. I thought we should have a different marriage. I thought this should be different. And we are joined by the hip. We are married perhaps here. So, or we are family tied somehow. So I can't they can have certain rules here. Again, if you are a young person, you live at home, this is your father, they could have certain house rules. You know, you have to make dinner, you have to walk out with the garbage, right? You have to be committed to certain things in the house. You have to clean or you have to do something. And you want this. Like this is all you are doing. Like if you could do what you really want to do, you would do just this. But this one comes in, you know, like with different kinds of clean up your room, right? Wash your clothes. And you can't necessarily deviate because you may be joined at the hip, as I said. It's like this may feel a bit like an invasion to this one, right? Like they are invading in the meditation. They're invading in their privacy. They're invading in their enlightenment journey. Yeah, and I get now I get 5 of air here. So 5 of air is usually a card that suggests, again, you can see here how she's trying to look like a dove and fly with the other doves, but it's a pretense, right? It's a pretense of being like the dove, dancing this ballet, flying like this, looking like this. She's not a dove, right? So it's like, again, we are joined at the hip. You are growing up within this dove nest, but you are not a dove, right? Like you are, the dove here would suggest that you do dove things. That you fly and mate and, you know, become like the dove here, but you are not a dove. You are a different kind. And you don't, that's the feeling of not belonging, alienated, not belonging, maybe rejected. That's why you are doing this. That's why you are trying to look like a dove. You wear that mask, but actually, and that could be what had happened here, right? At that time, this is what you did. But I feel like and they keep doing that. Like they still send this message that you should fit in. You should be the dove like us, right? It could be someone, let's say this is maybe they are very successful in a certain business. This could be, let's say they are a surgeon. Like they perform surgery. They are a doctor, a very high class, very, very successful, maybe doctor, right? And they want you to be studying medicine as well here, because we all are doctors in our family, or we are all politicians, or we all like highly educated something, and we want you to be that as well, so that you are like me, so that we are joined at the hip, right? So that we keep being joined at the hip, so that we are connected, so that we are the same, so that we are family, so that we have this common thing together, right? But you don't feel like this has always been like not you, right? It has been like a fake. And it has felt like you had to, like the difficulty suggests that this was a lie. It was a betrayal. It was a mask. It was just to fit in, just to belong, just to get by maybe, or to stay out of trouble, right? But it is difficulty. And maybe you didn't feel power, like having enough power to stand up against something. But I feel like you're getting there here, to confront something perhaps. Something that seems like it sits on the throne and it kind of expects something from you, right? It's time to pay your debt, or it's time to come back, or it's time to become like us again. Like you have been on your journey now for a while, now you have to come back. Join the workforce. I have paid your bills for way too long. You have to, something like that. Because that's what family does, or something like that. We are joined at the hip. You are like me, right? So you owe me, or you have to come back or something, right? But they make you feel like this. And that is the shade that I felt, like this. There is this other person or place, workplace, boss, perhaps a family member. Maybe you owe them money. Maybe you have, they have borrowed you money or something, and now they want you to pay back. And that that's why you're joined at the hip, that they have some kind of claim on you, some kind of claim that may have to do with you fitting in. They may have a way of making you feel rejected, feeling powerless without them. They may have a way of making you second guess your choices, that you can't do without them, or that you are an ugly duckling here, that they have to be around for you to get by, or something like that. They make you feel bad. They definitely make you feel unworthy, not good enough, that you are just an excuse of something here, that you can never ever fly like the doves, you can never ever, like a destructive. There is no support. This is not support, right? So you seek your bliss somewhere else, right? And they may not get it. For some reason, it feels like you may be stuck with them, or again joined by the hip. As I said, they could be a sibling, a mother, a father, a brother, sister maybe, but could be someone you owe money, even family where you owe them money. You live with them, like maybe it's their apartment. Maybe you it could be someone wants you owe money, there's a feeling of like owing them something. They give you a sense of like a bad conscience, I think, that you owe them something. Like you should join them. Like they could be, like requesting for you to come back and join the family business. You're supposed to be there, right? We are joined by a contract or something. You're supposed to be here and work in the family business. I expect you to do that. When are you coming, right? But you're not, like you have some other business to do here, or you can be the one who's asking someone to come back and they just seem so occupied by something and they don't seem to respond or come back because they are doing this, right? That's what I feel like I have here. So for the Ace of Gabriel, I get the 10 of Gabriel now as another card. So 10 suggests that this is coming full circle. 10 suggests that you're getting to the end of something, you're fulfilling something, you're finally there, you are finalizing something. It has now worked out, it is completed, something like that. It says here, ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load, working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. Actually, it feels a little bit like, and you could, again, we see how she is flying here, this one, the same one here, right? That the one here who just stole the picture, maybe you have been in service of them, right? And that is the shade that you're dealing with, right? And it comes to an end, like you don't want to do this anymore, or you're realizing that this one is me, like that I stand here and this one is me, right? I can, whatever this was, I can get out of it, right? I can become this one here, that this is me, right? So I can get out of that, and the Ace is here like an epiphany. You're finally seeing your own soul value, perhaps here, and like an epiphany, a dream or something, knowing that of course that's what I want. I don't want to. She looks a bit like a servant here, right? But I could be this one, right? So I'm moving towards that. The 10 indicates like a completion, that you have gotten yourself out of this housemaid feeling and you are moving to, now she's here, right? This is the center card, so this is the most important card. There may have been struggle here to get there, but you're getting yourself out of some kind of very burdensome. As I said, it could be an addiction, it could be you just take your power back, you're reclaiming that power, you are wanting to, or you want to connect with like the soul essence of you, where this is like this could be like the human life, and this could be the soul essence, and having connection with that soul essence is the bliss, right? So the bottom of the deck for the Ace of Gabriel, I get the High Priestess here. This is a driver card. So you could have been in a process of being a High Priestess here, changing something so that you can get in contact with this. But maybe you needed to be a High Priestess to do so, like to get yourself out of this housemaid position where you had no power, where you felt powerless, or as I said, you were a child in the family, you had to comply with certain rules, we all do, but to getting that autonomy, to getting, maybe this is a new flat, maybe this is a new housing where you just feel so free, right? So maybe moving out is like really taking off a load, because you don't have to be confronted with someone here, right? But needing to be a High Priestess, the High Priestess process has taken you to this. Like this is a driver for this experience. So needing to become a High Priestess here, powerful psychic insights, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information, be at peace. So this makes sense that this is one of the ways to achieve this and eventually achieve this, right? So from maybe a powerless feeling to now achieving that autonomy, that Empress-like state, getting yourself out of the Yeah, so I feel like housemaid here. Ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load, working too many hours, trying too hard to please others, or to help others, or to be of assistance here. So assisting someone else who just may sit, like this. I get almost like Cinderella and the evil stepmother or stepdad here, right? That has been like putting a pressure on you to somehow live a life like this. Follow ordinary life, become a wife, and so on. But that is not what you want here. Like a high priestess can definitely evolve into a soul connection, empress state, and like this, the lotus born. But it's a choice. It's a choice to become the empress. It's a choice to work in the dark with yin energy. It's a choice to do that. It's not for everyone. And choosing another path and freeing yourself from all these expectations that are normally put on, maybe on women. It can even be put on men. What I'm reading for here is someone who chooses something that is very different than what is normally expected of maybe of their gender. And maybe also of the role they had in the family. Maybe you were the youngest. And you are not supposed to, like make a big fuss of yourself. You had brothers and sisters who did that already, Maybe you had to fight extra hard to get your voice up and out. So this is what I feel like I have for this reading. Can we have an advice, please, about this King of Pentacles here? An advice, please. So I get the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles says that it's something about seeing the result of your labor. That I think this means that you should trust what you're doing. It is a Pentacle card here, right? Like here's a King of Pentacles. I think that this is about putting your own seeds in, having the patience to wait for the result of it. 8 suggests that you can see the result of your labor, that you actually have a bit, you can put aside, you have it. 8 suggests that you have one coin that is now the bonus, right? You have invested 7 and now you get 1 out. And that little one is just a beginning. And you should just, just cherish that and think that this is my beginning, right? He's a newbie, this one. He doesn't know exactly how to be a king like this. So you may need to have patience about the progress that you may see and how you may make your own money. Trust that you put in some seeds and that eventually it's going to pay out here. Eventually you will see the outcome of whatever you have put in your seeds to here. Because this can be very different work than this one expects you to do. Whatever you put your mind to or your work into, I think that you should just be patient here, that there's something will show up here for you. Seeing the result of your labor, I think this is, maybe that's what they are asking, right? I have put so much into you. I have given you such and such education. I want to see a result of everything I put in. So this could be what they're asking you, and I just think you shouldn't let this get to you, right? You should believe and trust that you can put in seeds here. Maybe it's a totally different kind of work, but it will feel much more fulfilling, and you don't have to like put up a mask here and go to work every day. Like what you could be doing here is going to give you so much more joy. And maybe you will not be the king here like them, but you will still earn a living, you will still get by, you will still have enough here. Trust that you will have enough. That's what I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles. Trust that you will have enough. You will be involved in something where you put in some kind of investment, and maybe it seems like I don't know, maybe not the great, they would not support it here, of course, right? But I think you should just, that what you put in here, again, believe, as I said, they are becoming like the Buddha, like the enlightenment that they have, or they will get, or that they're seeking, or they are wanting. That in itself it's a different kind of work. It will maybe leave them as a healer or an advisor or something, with different kinds of wisdom, and very different than this one. Like this is more what I would call an ordinary job situation thing, and what you are pursuing here is something entirely different. And I think you should just trust that you will be provided for, there will be enough. Whatever you get involved in will be right, as long as you follow like your soul here, as long as you follow the calling, you will be provided for. Just trusting that, right? Yeah. This is what I have. I hope this helps somehow, Scorpio. I feel like there's also an encouragement to just keep going, right? Keep going. Like put your fire the right, like invest your energy in the right thing. But as I said, are you the housemaid of someone else's success? Or are you the one who is now pursuing success, hoping that someone wants to support your endeavor? But yeah. So there can be a sense of dilemma in this, right? Knowing what the world looks like and what to expect of the world. Yeah, this is what I have. I hope this helps somehow. Take care of yourself out there, Scorpio. I send you my very best. Love and light to you. Bye-bye.